Let's talk about this new Ableton device. Is it just a cool thing to play once and forget about it, or an actual game changer to write music and get inspired? Especially if your piano skills are based on pressing three things. You probably saw some guys already mentioning it, but I wanted to deep dive, make a full guide and check if it's better than the most hyped MIDI plugin of this year. The bad news are, with current presets, it's more of like a toy. But you can make your own ones, just like I did here for you. More on them later. It's nothing new to be able to play chords with single key. We saw many plugins, devices and racks which are able to do this, but the expression part is what makes this one different. Plus, it tricks people that you spent last 10 years practicing piano. But let's speedrun parameters first. Tilt accentuates low or high notes of your chord. Invert and strum are pretty self-explanatory. Revoicing chords and strumming them. And speaking of strumming, you can set different options and playing order with, you guessed it, articulate. If you think about it, those are basically MIDI tools we all know and love from clips, but since many people requested to be able to automate parameters there, they gave us option to make them playable in real time. Now, speaking of playable, you can use any MIDI keys, good old bedroom producer piano, or a mouse. And while you get the most out of it with MP controller, you can cut it short by using this variation knob, which basically randomizes all the available options here. To be honest, 9 out of 10 times it's more than enough, but just so you know, you can use any of those values and modulate them with MP controls. Cool idea, but at least in beta there is no point of doing so. Check this. Let's say I want to modulate strum with slide parameter on my push. So all I got to do is to increase the modulation value here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it works only once. Like, for example, if I will press this pad, there is definitely some strumming happening, and on the other side of this pad, there's slightly less of strumming, but I can just go like that and strum my chord, which actually would be quite cool. I believe it may work fine in the official version, but as for now, yeah, it kind of makes no sense to do this. Okay, as I've mentioned before, there is a small selection of presets which are cool to play and jam, but if you don't have ear for chords and scales, you would have a hard time guessing what's the key or scale of your masterpiece.
What language is that?
Both the info right here about each chord and the alternative display may help, but it's way better to have more control over it. You can import your own chords, or the ones you were tricked to buy to become a platinum music producer. And it is as simple as having them on your track or as a clip inside session view, and then clicking import. Well, not exactly as simple, but thanks to the awesome video by Nervous Cooks I found while doing the research, there is an easy way to deal with this mess. As for right now, Expressive Chords accepts only patterns without gaps and with each chord being quarter note long. So all you gotta do is to highlight all of those chords, then here you can set each chord to be quarter note, then simply delete all of those gaps by connecting your chords like that. And once I click import, voila, that's how I made those 10 presets for you. You can get them for free or by showing a little support for me using my last brain cells to come up with cool patterns. Each one is set to C and the first pad is always 1. So if you get lost after transposing all of your compositions, then you can easily have an idea by just pressing the first pad and watching how chords change. You already heard some of them, but there you go with another idea. I never made a lo-fi beat in my entire life, so let me know if it counts as lo-fi. Okay, but as you can see, it gave me nothing like chords here. And that's the case with all the MIDI devices, while a quick solution for that is to do some simple routing. First you need to place Expression Chords on an empty MIDI track, like that, and then select it as an input source here on your instrument. So that's MIDI 6. There you go, and now just switch it to in, and you can either record them both like that, or you can come up with pattern just as it is right here and then simply press record. Now before we get into the most fun you can have with it, let's quickly compare that to Scalar 3 and tell you why I think Ableton did a better job here. Yes, Scalar is way more powerful and you don't need to know or guess the chords you play. But when it comes down to performance tools, I found them a little bit buggy, but most importantly focused around menu diving hell. Instead of getting inspired straight away and having just a few controls to control anything you need, basically. Who the f*** is driving the big truck while I'm recording? And yes, it has some cool song building and structuring tools, but to be fair with you, it's no different than you staring at piano roll while using some cheap or free Max for Live MIDI tools. I spent a couple of nights testing some of the best ones. You can find the video right here. As promised, you can get the most fun with Expressive Chords by using them with other MIDI tools, like an ARP for example. I love the built-in ones in new Arturia plugins, especially the legendary Roland 8000 emulation. For all the trance needs. But there is also a cool Max for Live device you can get for 5 Freedom coins. Or the free one from the Max for Live Essentials pack, I believe. Obviously, the stock one will do the job as well, since it's not exactly about the ARP, rather about the parameters you can change, like strum and articulate, and how they affect ARP. Okay, by the time you're watching this video, Live 12.2 is still in beta, as well as Expressive Chords. There are some improvements to be made, but they are already done something, like for example with this strumming quantization option, so that's really cool. But no matter the time you're watching this, I think it's safe to say that Expression Chords is actually a pretty cool device if you want to get inspired straight away, or you just don't have idea how to play each chord. And yes, some preparations needs to be made, like for example importing your own chords, but I think it is still better to dedicate a time to come up with cool patterns and progressions, then import them, and once you want to write a song, then just grab Expressive Chords and play different ones.